there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be my reports from a 50-point Steamroller. It was going to be 4 games because there's going to be 16 people, 2 lists, and divide and conquer 1. My 2 lists I decided to go with, you guys should have seen before. There's going to be my eHaley list and my eCaine list. Now, the eHaley list here, which I'm going to be starting with, has eHaley running a Squire and the Lancer. There's going to be the Press Gangers, the Rangers, 2 units of Commandos, Alexia and her Risen, Anastasia, and also some, what are those guys called? Forge Guard. There's also supposed to be a Stormcaller too, but I kind of forgot about it. The other list is my eCaine one, which is kind of my usual, and we'll get to it when we see it. Anyway, in this first game here, I'm going to be up against Retribution, and really it was Ron or Viros. And really in my list, this is supposed to be my more anti-War Machine list because I can dominate jacks, I can usually really bog things down, and that's what I plan to do here. The mission is 1st to 5, and you get 1 for controlling zone, 2 for dominating, but if you dominate your friendly flag, you can make them -1, and if for some reason you get to their flag, you can control for 1 and dominate for 2. Now, he's going to be running Viros 3, and I believe this is the tier list. He's going to be running 4 of the Griffins. There's going to be a Dester Thane on one side, Sentinels in the front, a couple of those Arcanists, I think they're called, and there's also going to be those guys in the back, Invictors, I think they're called, and there's that new fancy new character Jack. So really, all I really care about is get up there and jam and get the easy win. So I get first turn, I'm really just rushing up, and I decide to go for my feet already. This is one of the things I'm kind of playing with where I can't really hold back, and I don't want to lose a bunch of guys from him charging, so I pop the feet to kind of neuter the advanced deploy stuff. And so really now the Sentinels won't be able to do anything to me, and I can wipe them on return. I also do deflection in case he tries to shoot me, and that's really my turn. So on his turn, he tries to come at me, but he can't really do anything because his front line can't attack, and then the rest of the stuff behind can't really get to anything. So yeah, he's going to be putting up synergy, but otherwise, he's just kind of running up to engage and trying to get as many stuff into the zone as possible, especially the jacks. And he also popped his feet here too, so for everything I kill, somebody in his battle group can move. Now, my turn here was really wacky and lots of parts to it, but basically the Commandos went first, and along with the Rangers, and they killed a good amount of the Sentinels. I also kind of made sure that there was kind of some room there. I even had to kill one of my own Commandos so that I could sneak through Anastasia and get off an espionage so they get to go again. So for the most part, they couldn't get too far, but they did get kind of up there. As well, I was able to dominate one of his Griffins on the right to kind of move it up. Did some damage there. You can see the Dester Thane from the feet move further down, and then I kind of tried to lock him down with some Commandos after. But one of the things that really caused me a lot of issues is these Griffins on the left, because the Press Gangers really don't have any punch to them. And so what I planned to do is I brought over Alexia to that side so that I can get a bunch of souls. I made a Thrall this time that charged in and did some damage, but hopefully from making like 20 guys, I can charge in there and start dealing with the Griffins on the left flank. So his turn was crazy deadly, and this is where I really started to realize just how deadly this stuff can be. Really what it comes down to is that he puts, you know, a focus or so on each of his Griffins and gets the synergy chain going. And then, like, each of these Griffins are killing, like, 3 guys. And, yeah, he just killed tons of those Commandos. Pretty much the Silver group is almost completely gone. The Rangers are all gone. I mean, sure, Alexia has a bunch of souls, but, yeah, bad times. He even got to Anastasia and killed her. So, all of a sudden, I'm looking at this and going, wow, this isn't very good, and I really need to come back on attrition. So, luckily, my Forge Guard have not really gone in yet. And with that, I'm looking at this and deciding that I should be able to destroy the Destrothane pretty easily, two of the Griffins, and maybe get some damage on his special Jack as well. But otherwise, on the left side, with those two guys side by side, the two Griffins, Alexia is going to have a full complement of Risen, so hopefully she can kill the two of them, and we'll have to kind of see how it goes. So one of the biggest things that kind of didn't work is that, first of all, I brought in with a TK his little character Jack there. And for one thing I should mention, it doesn't really matter where they're facing because they got 360 from Viros. But then I wanted to TK the other Griffin there to get him out of the way so I can get charges on him as well. And it didn't work. I boosted my TK, failed twice, and that's why eHaley's having to ditch and just kind of go back. With all the attacks, I was able to destroy one Griffin. The one here near the center is pretty messed up. The Destrothane went down. Alexia was able to destroy one Griffin, but man, those rolls weren't going the way I thought. And yeah, the attacks on the other Griffin just did like minimal damage. So I did some stuff, but seriously, I'm kind of worried because I just didn't do enough, and now he's going to get to kill stuff again. So the grinder keeps grinding, and as you can see there, my Forge Guard and my Commandos take a big hit, and I am really losing a lot of presence in the center of the board. I'm getting very, very worried, and I'm wondering if I can even come back from this. One of the things that does give me a glimmer of hope is that his character Jack hits my Lancer twice, and I take out 2 Cortex boxes, which is kind of the reason why he didn't hit me a third time. And this is where I get this idea that, wow, if I just go up there and hit him one more time, he'll be kind of neutered. Meanwhile, I should be able to come over and destroy these other 2 Griffins in the middle, and maybe I can actually start coming back. Meanwhile, on the left side, he was able to kill Alexia, so she's gone, but you know, there's only one Griffin now, and now I can start clearing up the guys on the left. So it's kind of weird. I'm kind of dead in the middle, but I have guys on the right and guys on the left. So on my turn, it really doesn't go the way I thought. I come charging in. I mess up the last Cortex on his special character Jack, but the other Griffins, I just didn't do it. It just the damages just did not happen. I was able to destroy his Griffin on the left, so that's awesome. Plus, I seduced one of his Invictors to go and hit the other one. Unfortunately, I didn't roll high enough to do anything, but that was kind of fun. And now now it's going well on the left, but I know I'm going to take a massive beating on the right. And yeah, it was almost way worse than I thought because I forgot about the Phoenix Protocol. So basically what happens is he got back his Cortex, and then he gets to get all his 3 focus, and after some sidesteps, gets to eHaley. And I thought, wow, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm camping 3, I'm behind a wall, but he's super strong, and if he just boosts a hit, I'm dead. Luckily, he just decides to roll it out. I can't remember what he needs to hit. I want to say 7, because remember, there's synergy build-up as well. But basically, out of all 3 attacks, he misses them all. So that is a huge, huge lucky saving grace for me. Otherwise, you know, he had his 2 remaining Invictors come over to the right, which actually frees up my press gangers now to do whatever they want. And yeah, as you can see there, losing lots of guys. And it's now down to the point where I only have, my only hard-hitting unit was the Forge Guard. And I've lost so many that I don't know what I can really do here. So really what happens is I am able to kill the 2 Griffins. One of them had hardly any damage, so the Commandos could just come over and plink their damage on. Once that was done, the Lancer is able to come down and take out that Cortex again. So now I should really be safe. And then I wanted to try and get some points. So eHaley TKs away the character guy. I hit him with a time bomb, and I just ditch over to the right. And I also score a point from the center. I planned to get 2 points, but when the press gangers charged up, I was a little bit sloppy, and in going after the Invictors, I had a guy that was more than 4 inches away. So kind of derped there, but I think if I have any chance here, this will have to be by scenario, and I only have 1 point so far. So on his turn, he really makes sure that damn Lancer is dead, so comes in there and really just screws it up. But for my part here, you know, again, I didn't score at the top, so it's still 1-0. But my biggest thing here is I can't win just from this go, right? I could TK out his jack, I could dominate for 2, I could get the flag for 1, but that wouldn't be enough. So I'm going to have to find a way to stall this long enough for me to get enough points. So initially my idea was to move the commandos down, which I did, and then I was going to run up basically and dominate. But then I realized, oh, that won't work because that jack will just hit the 2 commandos, sidestepping and stuff and moving out of the way, and then I'll take a straight-on charge from Viros. So I decided I have to really try to think ahead and just have to not die. So eHaley just basically TKs away the 1 jack and then ditches, and then otherwise the press gangers went up there to get another point. So 2-0, but still, this is a lot of hard stuff for me to try and deal with. So on his turn, this is where I think I'm really screwed. He kills the commandos that are on the inside, comes up there with the jack so that he's contesting the flag. So he's going to dominate for 2, so it's 2-2 now. And now I'm thinking, damn, what the hell am I going to do? Because, yeah, this is really bad, and time is starting to be an issue for both of us. So eventually what I do is eHaley has to come back to where it is. I have some of my press gangers go into the zone. I have some of the other ones stay back with the flag. And really I'm just trying to stall this out so then the following turn I can make it work. So what happens here is that he goes after my guys, and I start making lots of tough checks. Lots and lots of them. By the way, I forgot to tell you that I hit them before with a scattering time bomb, so they both got time bombed there. But even then, he kind of moves up. So he's going to be contesting the flag, so no points there. He's going to be dominating again. So now he's at 4 points to my 2. So I now have to make this work. And the only thing I can see is I can go into the zone to dominate. But what I have to do is TK his jack. And hopefully I can take him out of the zone and be more than 4 inches away from my flag. So first of all, I move up. Turns out I'm out of range, but I remember I can TK myself up. That makes me in range for TK on him. I TK him to side, and I tell you guys, this was freaking close. We had to measure it out, and it turned out to be a thing of like a millimeter or 2. It was super close, but I got him far enough away, so I score in the flag, I dominate the zone, and I win 5-0. And wow, what can I tell you? This game was long, it was stressful, it was a grinder. Both of us were lacking sleep, so it's not like we were full of laughs or anything, but man, it was a grinder to the end, and really made me question my list, that's for sure. It was really those Griffins just chewing me up. But hey, I got the win and I'll move on. Alright, so the second game here. Normally this guy I'm playing against does Kador, but he switched over to Scorn here, and this is going to be the Xerxes tier that has all the dudes and all the... Oh man, there's just so many hit points here. So anyway, I decided looking at his list that I didn't really want to go with my eHaley, because with all of his insinuari, whatever guys, he'd just be lighting me all on fire, and it just would not work. So instead, I'm going to go with eCaine, and I'm going to try and get the kill. So what this list is here all about is I got eCaine running 2 Sentinels and a Squire, Junior doing the Stormwall, Gun Mages UA. There's also the Rangers, Reinhold. I got, what's his name, Pendrake in the list here. I have Terran, I have the Black 13th, and I have a Stormcaller. This list here, or mission, is first 1 to 5. There's Kill Box. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating it, but you have to destroy the enemy objective first. For his side, he's going with Xerxes, like I said, running an Archidon and Tiberian. There is pretty much 2 units of each, so 2 Acuarii, 2 Citrati, and 2 of the Insinuarii, whatever. You know the guys I'm talking about. And then there's the Pain Givers in the back. I also have Rangers, of course, too, as you can see there. But really, for my part, I'm wanting to go up. I'm probably going to kill the Archidon first because it should be pretty easy. and then I'm just going to be looking for the assassination. Now, I wanted to go first, and he decided to go, pick sides, but he picked the side over there, and I think that was a mistake, because now I got this hill, and once I'm on that hill, I can see over his lines to Xerxes. So, we'll see how this goes. So I get first turn. In a way, it's dumb to move up the Rangers to where they can be hit by the blasts, but I also just don't want those guys running up to me. I'd rather him taking his bad shots. I got stealth, and if he can waste time and space shooting at those guys, I'm okay with it. Otherwise, I got Arcane Shield up. I don't really need any spells up on Caine at all, so really everything else is just kind of getting into position. And you can see the Storm Wall already on the hill, so it can already see anything it wants. So his turn basically goes the way I think. The Incendiary guys go up. They kill one, light another guy on fire. Everything else kind of just does its thing. He has Defender's Ward up, and then they Shield Wall and Desperate Pace or whatever. So they're getting pretty far up. And looking at this, I could probably already try and go for Xerxes. The problem is that Terran can't shoot the Satrati. I just don't have the range to let Caine see. So I'm going to have to wait for a turn here, which means I need to stall. So that's not so bad. I can kill that Archidon and then just try and jam the best I can and hold him up for a turn. So that's what I do. I give myself Beast Lore from Pendrake. Go up there. Don't pop feet, but just shoot up that Archidon. Take him down. Otherwise, I got the Sentinels going up because they're really up there just to take some shots and then get in the way. So they do some damage and kill one of the Satrati, I believe, on the right. Black 13th, you can see, ran up to engage. I ran up there with the Stormcaller. Rangers, for the most part, all but one, really ran up there into his face to get in the way. I put a pod there. I do 2 big shots from the Storm Wall to do some damage. Even the Gun Mages are getting into the mix, just making sure I keep him at bay, make sure he's not going to just rush my Storm Wall, and really kind of leave that opening up for the assassination. So his turn there, he does his best to try and clear things up, but I gotta say, the biggest thing that happened in this turn is he just got diced. Now, the Incendiary on the left really had an issue because they couldn't see. But that's not a big deal because the first one's going to shoot at the front there. Sure, he might set himself on fire, but he'll probably kill my guys. Now, he's needing, I believe, like a 5 to kill my guy, or maybe it's a 6. But he just kept on failing over and over and over again. So whereas they would have liked to shoot my gun mages that were more closer to the storm wall, they had to just keep on shooting the stuff that was at the front line. And even then, the one did not die, so that those Satrati guys or whatever had to deal with him there. Or Ocuarii, whatever they're called. Then he had a really hard time trying to kill the Rangers that were jamming his stuff because he saw that if he wanted to get to the storm wall, he had to do the Desperate Pace. So he couldn't really do it with Xerxes. And while he tried a whole bunch of different ways of doing it, one really sneaky thing he tried doing is the Pain Givers went through the lines, and they tried, but in the end, the dice failed, so he just kind of had to take some free strikes and walk around. Really did a lot of damage to the front Sentinel, but otherwise misses on the Black 13th. He kills my Stormcaller, but this is now okay. Now, the way I'm looking at this here is I'm pretty sure my Stormwall can aim and shoot Xerxes from where he is. Plus, in order to kill the last gun mage, Tiberian moved up, and eyeballing that, I think he's too far away to shield wall anymore. So that's another thing down. He's only capping a few, and really with Terran, because his 2 guys there are not quite touching at the back for his Satrati, I really just have to kill the one in the front, the one that's on the other side of the smiley face, or frowny face rather, and that's there because I failed my command with my gun mages. But if I shoot that one guy, then I can see through it with Caine, and it's assassination time. So that's what we do. Basically, yeah, I aim. I do my shots with Stormwall. It does some really great damage. Turns out that the little nipple guns are in range too, so that really helped. Terran did her shots so I can see through with Shadow, whatever it's called, and then Caine pops feet, and with 3 focus to spare, takes him down. So get a win here by assassination, but this was something that needed to go right. if he would have put more guys in the way, I wouldn't have been able to get the shots on him. And of course, if Xerxes didn't die here, it was game over, right? After this turn, I just would have had everything destroyed. So it had to happen here, and luckily he just gave me the opening. But man, I'll take it. It's a dangerous list, and 2-0. I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so we're going on to game 3 now. There's only 4 undefeateds. One of them is my brother, and really, when we're looking at all the pairings, I really wanted to go against the Legion list, and my brother really wanted to go against the Scorn list. And it turned out we got just what we wanted, and I'm really excited for this because my eCaine list was designed to kill Epic Lilith because there's 2 players that are really pushing her right now, and I'd be stupid not to build my list to be dealing with it. So the same eCaine list. This eLilith list is going to be running triple Ravagore, Shredder, Naga, 2 Deathstalkers, a Forsaken, and 2 Shepherds. I believe it is not kill box. Yeah, it's not. It's first to 5. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating, or you can dominate the flag for 1, but that's kind of suicidal. And really how this list is supposed to work is that given the Sentinels, I can actually take away a lot from his feet that usually leaves my Stormwall alive. So leaves my stuff alive, I can get up there and try and shoot, and hopefully I can pull off the assassination before he does. So he actually got the first turn. Something I want to talk about here is that I have the choice of sides. Now, I chose the side I'm on because he can see through forests. eCaine doesn't have Pathfinder, so I find when those forests are right in the middle, it really limits me. So I'd rather get the defense I can get from the walls. Anyway, that's why I picked this side, and we'll come back to that later. But really, he just walks up, takes some shots, hopes for some good scatters, doesn't get it. Pulls in some stuff into his Forsaken, goes for Shadow Pack, and that's it. My turn here, I'm not in range to really threaten anything, so I put Blur up onto the Rangers, I put True Shot up onto eCaine, of course Arcane Shield is going onto the Stormwall, and I'm just getting right up there. I'm saying, hey, go ahead, get in, go after the Stormwall, I'm probably going to survive, go ahead and try and go into the zone, I'll probably kill you, and really just hoping to survive. You know, I'm trying to save the pieces I can. I mean, that's why my gun mages didn't move up really far. But something else I should mention as well is that he also has 10 Bog Trogs. So that's why I'm not really spreading out like I normally would. And that's why my Stormcaller is like randomly starting over on the right, is just with reach to try and really limit what he could get to. So he decides to bring the Bog Trogs on the left side. This will be his feet turn. And he decides to go after the Stormwall. And he cranks that guy. It was crazy. You know, like, he had pincushion on me, so of course it'll be higher than the usual average, but he was just cranking out that dice. So one half of the Stormwall went down, the other half is like half down, so he really took a beating. And plus, the one guy that went into the zone there, the one Ravagore, he's out of range because I'm only moving 5, I can charge up to 8, I have reach for 10, and so if we're on opposite sides of the zone, that means he's 12 away-ish or 11, and I can't get to him. So, yeah. Now the real issue is here is this stupid forest, because it is going to be blocking my line of sight, and whereas he can see me no problem, I don't have that. Now, looking at it, I decided that I can't really attrition. I could try, say, like killing the Ravagore on the right, then he would kill my Stormwall. You know, I could maybe dominate for 2, but then I'd probably be in a spot where he might just assassinate me, and I just can't really come back from this after. So I look for the assassination, and to me, it was going to be really close, but it looked to me that if I charged off to the right, I could actually get a bead onto Epic Lilith, even though she's in the back. There will be a Ravagore blocking that line, so I'll have to shoot him with Terran, and as long as I can do that, I might just get to win the game here. So that's what I really do. I go up on my 13th, and they're going to be basically flaring that Ravagore so I can see him. Terran's going to go up and shoot him so that I can now see through him anyway. Really, what happened then is that the storm wall went up to do nothing really, except for put a pod exactly where I wanted eCaine. eCaine is going to get an extra bullet from Reinhold. He's going to charge over, and this thing was close. Like, we had to call over the judge, but I did get line of sight to Lilith, and that's when I realized I hadn't done the Rangers yet, but that's okay. He only had 2 transfers. I had all those shots, and I start shooting. I get some big damage. He has to transfer it. Get some more big damage. He has to transfer it. Shoot him again. He takes some more damage, and now it's like I just have to finish him off. So I boost a hit. I miss, and I forgot that he is evasive. So because of evasive, he gets to move away, and it failed. Now, luckily, I had enough focus so I could gate crash away, but oh man, and that difference, if my ranges were up there, I would have hit it. So totally my fault. I dropped the ball, but really the rest of these activations were just me running models to try and make sure that Caine stays alive, because now at this point, if I can just try and get a magic bullet or something, I should be able to kill her. Meanwhile, on the left side, I brought over some of the gun mages. The other ones, even though they'll be outside of my control range, are just blocking the bog trogs to keep them away. So on his turn, he's really going for the attrition. He tried to find a way to get things onto eCaine, but to be honest, dice saved me. So he had the one Ravagore come in and destroy my storm wall. Then looking at the bead going through, he got 2 Ravagore shots onto me, but both failed to hit, even though he boosted, so got pretty lucky there. Survived, and otherwise, yeah, bog trogs kill all those guys on the left. He kills off a good number of my Rangers and stuff like that too. Kills off Terran. And looking at this, I think he just gave me another chance because, of course, he thought he was going to kill me. But now he's camping 1, or maybe it was 2, but I think it was just 1. But if I charge off like I did last time, all I have to do is kill that Shredder and kill that Shepherd, and I can go for that assassination again. So that's what I do. I have to come over here and charge my Squire to set up what I need to do. And the problem is that I had to waste some bullets. The Black 13th come in, and I was really hoping that after I flared them that I could shoot them down, but the flare missed. So I had to instead just shoot down the Shepherd. Caine was forced to waste some focus, killing the Shredder. And then it was really going to be dicey whether I got Lilith or not. What it really came down to is I needed to get 1 hard 7. So I make the first hard 7, and it's like, this is easy street. Do some good damage. He has to transfer. Go to shoot him again. Boosted 7, misses. And evasive goes away, and I'm just screwed. I'm just screwed. And yeah, the dice said no. So really, the Ravagores just come over here, shoot me in the face, and that's the game. So, I think the real thing here, I mean, I feel kind of bad, of course, or stupid that I didn't move the Rangers, because that was going to be the difference. I also feel bad because I just forgot that she had evasive. So that's something you have to know. Like, little rules like that can just lead to loss. Plus, seeing as how this force got used against me, maybe I should have been picking the other side so that she couldn't hide like this. So all the, couldas, shouldas. But again, I think the biggest shameful thing here is that this list was designed to beat this, and it didn't work. So that's probably the worst of it. But either way, a little bit of spoilers. This player goes forward to win the whole tournament. So that's not so bad for me. If you're going to lose, lose to the champ. All right, so we're on to the last game here. A little bit of a fuzzy picture, but he is going with Circle, and given that he has Morvana, which I want to take eCaine for the remove from play feat, and E. Kruger, I don't really know lots about E. Kruger, but I know he can move me, and that he can't move the storm wall. So, seemed like an easy one. I went for eCaine, he went for Kruger, and once he saw the matchup, he seemed to be really kicking himself. And looking at this, it should be pretty easy, right? Caine just shoots down the dudes, and I get the win. But let's look what we have here. He is running E. Kruger with a Gorax, a Getorix, he has a Pureblood, and he has a Stalker. There's also 2 of the Gallows Groves. There are the little chicks up there with Nawala who are praying my Rangers. He is also going to be having a Wilder and a Blackclad, and I think that's everything. Oh yeah, of course, 2 sets of stones as well. The mission is not kill box. It's first 1 to 5, and pretty simple. There's 2 zones. You can control for 1, dominate for 2. And really in this one here, I want to win this one by scenario because if I want to get a trophy, I need to go for tie breaks. And yeah, so I mean, if there's assassination, I mean, I'd rather win than not, so I'll take the assassination. But if possible, I'd rather this game goes to attrition in that I get control points. Alright, so I get first turn. Really, I'm just moving up my Rangers, but giving enough distance that I shouldn't be in range. I put Blur on them anyway, just to keep them safe. True Shot onto eCaine, Arcane Shield onto the Storm Wall, and that's really it. On his turn, he really shifts to the left side. So clearly, that's the side thinks he's going to score on. On the right side, he has a Stalker over there, so probably planning to kill whatever I put in there. But for the most part, the biggest thing that really killed me is that he moved up E. Kruger. You can see where he is, right up in the front behind that 1 stone. And then he puts up this Storm Rage or whatever. And then I realized that, oh, damn it, all my stuff within 14 inches of him is -5 range. And that's horrendous. Because whereas I thought I could stay back and just shoot him up, now I won't have the range to do that. So that's going to be really bad. What I decide to do then is go for a gate crash assassination. So if I just kill that one model, or one of the models right in front of E. Kruger, I can charge up and then I can gate crash right into him. So that's going to be the plan, and we'll see if it works. And actually, the next picture is better. This is how close it was. I charged up here before I decided to gate crash. I decided to measure my control range, and it turns out I'm going to be just out. So before I made my decision, we didn't put the little half thing there, but I decided I'd have to get out of town because this is not going to work. So this is bad because I had to run up my ranges first, and so basically I just gave all my rangers away. So really, all I got done then is eCaine had to just jump back and hide. I was able to, geez, do what? Pretty much nothing. I killed 1 tree. I killed Gallows Grove on the right, and that's about it. So feeling really bad, and I put Blur back up on myself for my caster, and I hope I just have a different opening to try and get something done. Alright, so luckily on his turn, it's going to be his turn to mess up. He went a little bit more reserved here because he was going for a scenario. But really what happened is that he teleported up with Getorix, put on the Lightning or the Sprint Animus, destroyed the 1 Sentinel, went back. He had the 1 Stalker go up into the zone a little bit more deeper. On the left side, he goes over with the Pureblood, and then he comes over with charging over basically, or running over, or whatever it was, coming over with E. Kruger, and he's going to be popping feet to move stuff, but 2 big problems. One, from being a little bit farther away, his feet only affected 3 of the gun mages, which couldn't move because they're all conga lined, and they're conga lined because I was trying to set up that range to get that 1 person to find out where I'd be outside of 14 inches of him so I could actually shoot my snipe and get the girl. But anyway, but it also got Kane, so moving him back, I'll be -2 speed, but he did not get the storm wall, so that was a bit of a mistake. Plus, he's outside the zone, so he's not going to score anyway, and that's pretty bad. So once everything was done here, that's pretty much it. Didn't really get too much done. I mean, he killed all my rangers, so that's really good for him, but and he also killed my Stormcaller. But now I'm looking at this and thinking it's not too bad, because especially I'm pretty sure I can start scoring on the right and jamming the left, and I might be able to start winning this one on scenario. So that's what I do, is I pretty much first go with the gun mages. They go up the best they can because even though I'm -5 range, that still means I'm range 9 when I have snipe up. So I come up and I shoot a whole bunch of those chicks there. They're actually going to end up failing their command, which is huge. So I got really lucky there. Reinhold gave me an extra bullet. I gave myself beast lore. Came over, popped feet, killed the stalker, and then gate crashed into the zone. The one sentinel moved up and it did some shots and killed a few guys. The Black 13th tried to shoot down the Wilder, but did not happen. The Storm Wall was able to put a toe in the zone, and I'm feeling great. I'm up 2 points. Most of the stuff is on the left, and really, if he doesn't go after the Storm Wall, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to really threaten Kruger. But he does go after the Storm Wall. It takes double primal and both of these guys here. But he gets both Getterichs and the Pure Blood in, and that's enough to take me down. Now, he did make a bit of a mistake here because going with primal is good, right? You get +2 map, +2 strength. However, you are going to frenzy. Another animus he could have done instead is a Pure Blood's animus, which gives blessed. So then you wouldn't get any plus to mat, but you should be hitting me anyway. And then instead of being +2 strength, I'm -3 armor because you ignore my arcane shield, and plus you wouldn't freak out. So he destroyed me, but he basically lost 2 heavies as well. Otherwise, he tries to rally his chicks, but they refuse. The Wilder has to run into the zone, and that's really his turn. So on my turn, I'm really just gumming things up on the left, just killing that chick there on the left, the Wilder, and then trying to kill the stones too so they can't teleport in, but not quite making it while my support staff runs over. But I'm going to dominate for 2 again, and it's now 4-0. On his turn, he has 2 stones, are able to teleport in to contest. On the left side, he's going to frenzy and kill a couple of guys, and he really wanted to try and find a way to dominate on the left, but it just wasn't happening. Kruger was missing his attacks, and then he was able to TK Reinhold out of the zone, but I ended up with 1 gun mage who passed his command test, so nothing there. And all I need to do was to kill the 2 stones, dominate again, and I win on scenario. So, first time playing against E. Kruger, and yeah, I gotta respect this guy more. You know, I always heard about his big thing about winning scenarios by moving you back and all this, but damn, that whole anti-range game was huge. So, I really don't think the answer would have been eHaley, but definitely, I don't think guns are the answer either. So after everything is done here, it did turn out I got 2nd place. So with 3 wins and a pretty good strength of schedule, plus my control points were pretty high, I got 2nd place. That's really awesome. Got the trophy here I could give to my daughter. But I really had a lot of fun. All the 4 games were against nice, fun opponents. Nothing really got sour or anything like that. You know, the first game was a super grinder, and if anything, I mean, that was probably the least enjoyable game, but even then, the guy was a good guy, so, you know, we got through that grind with a crazy millimeter win at the end. But, yeah, 11 eCaine at least again, which is good, because he was doing bad for me before. But, yeah, I think I'm going to have to take another look at my eHaley list and see if I need to put some more punch in there. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.